guys, thanks for tuning in. This is optibotimus coming with another video review. And today we're going to be taking a look at the new Transformers Combiner Wars Deluxe Class Sunstreaker. Finally, we're going to start getting some Autobots to actually go along with that Optimus Prime that we got. And a lot of them are actually classic characters that, for some reason, they decided to make combined with Optimus. It's kind of a weird thing, but for the package, you can see you got a nice window clamshell here that fully shows the figure. And then on the back, the actual art is done up to kind of showcase the actual comic book that it comes with. You come around here to the side, you can see that he's one of 5 for Optimus Maximus, although I guess that's what they're calling him with the white Optimus Prime, the Battle Core one. They're calling him Optimus Maximus. If you use the red regular Optimus, that for some reason is called Ultra Prime. So I have no idea. But you see, in terms of the deluxe figures, you got Sunstreaker, Mirage, Prowl, and Ironhide. And then Battle Core Optimus is just a white and gold repaint of that Optimus Prime figure that we got some time ago. You can see that this is a Scramble City sort of combiner, so it can become an arm or a leg. And you can see both his robot as well as his vehicle mode. And it says a combiner robot needs contributions from every bot that forms it. And Optimus Maximus is no different. Optimus Prime can bring the courage, Prowl can provide the strategy, Sunstreaker, he makes this combiner look good. And that's weird and strange, but as you can see, all these new Autobot figures are basically just repaints, but they do sport new heads. So that's something cool to look forward to, but for the packaging, it's pretty similar to what we got so far with all the Combiner War figures, so without further ado, let's get him open and see how cool he actually is. Alright guys, so here we have Sunstreaker open up and out of his packaging. And as you can see, he is a repaint of the Combiner Wars Stunticon breakdown. He does sport a new head, but we'll get into that here in a little bit. But you can see, in terms of vehicle mode, a fairly decent representation of Sunstreaker, you know, but this has more of a Ferrari look, I guess. I don't know. Whereas the classic one had more of that Lamborghini kind of look, but you can see that they basically utilized his combiner extremity, be it the hand or foot, whatever you want to use it as his engine block that sits on the top, which is kind of cool. He also does come with the sword gun thing. You could use it as a sword, you could use it as a gun, whatever you want to do. It's got this real nice silver paint, same thing with here, but everything else is basically molded in this yellow plastic, and it has a very thin kind of yellow to it. You can see you got a nice Autobot logo painted there. The front headlights here are painted silver. You got the black coming around, and then you got this red section that's painted on here on the side, then some black trim. But honestly, I mean, it's not bad. Now, I guess I should bring this out. Here's this comic book, and when you open it up and look in here, it says that it's the Transformers Combiner Wars number 14. What actual book this is representative of, I'm not 100% sure, but you come around here back and you have a more extended bio and a bit of a background on the actual character, and then you have some statistics like his name, his group affiliation, things like that. But I still like how they actually have that, and then here on the back, they got a bit of a design sort of phase thing where you can see like the sketch phase, gray model phase, finished product, and then basically the sketch here on how they're going to transform stuff. So I do like that they include this. I don't read the comics, but it is a pretty nice touch that they include it and gives you some kind of consistency in terms of where these characters come from. Now, for comparison, here is the classic version, which a lot of people, including myself, will say is the far superior looking. I mean, you can see basically the exact same size, so pretty cool, but you can see that this has a much smaller engine block. This is really large. I just think that in general, this is a better looking representation of what Sunstreaker would kind of look like in a more updated sort of modern fashion. I mean, this doesn't look bad at all, but you can also see that there is a big difference here in terms of the yellow. This is a much darker yellow, even though that this part here is yellow paint on top of black. I mean, that's always been kind of ugly, but in general, I think that this yellow just looks a little bit better. This is much brighter. I don't know, that might appeal to some people, but even if you take this off and take this section off, it just, I don't know. I mean, it's like, keep that all squeezed together. I just really do think that this is a better homage to that actual character. I do wish that, now that I look at it, I do wish he had bigger wheels. I mean, I think the wheels are really nice and big on here, but there's the vehicle mode size comparison. For the transformation though, it is exactly the same as breakdown, so I'm gonna go ahead and skip it. We've seen it multiple times. If you do need help transforming that, you can check out my review of the Stunticon breakdown, but since we don't need to see it, we're going to go from Sunstreaker looking like this to looking like this, and this is definitely not my favorite of the new deluxe figures. Just something about this guy. I mean, he's got the head, obviously, he's got the color, just doesn't really say Sunstreaker to me. I mean, he's a decent looking figure, but it just, in terms of character representation, I don't think this guy has it. Now, you can't take his accessory, his hand or his foot, and you can come around here and you can tuck this up there, and then you got this hole right here that you can jam that in, and you can kind of further that look. But I just don't think it looks all that good. And for comparison, here he is next to the classic version, and you can see that this just has a much better representation, and you can see that he actually gets a little bit bigger too. I mean, despite the fact that vehicle mode, they're basically the exact same size, you can see that robot mode, he gets considerably bigger. But I don't know. I mean, the head sculpt on this guy looks really nice. I like it. I think it's a cool representation of Sunstreaker, and it probably is a little bit better than this one. But overall, the body is just not doing it for me. I mean, the only thing that really says Sunstreaker to me would be his head. And then this just looks weird being that far back. I'm, again, not a very big fan of it, but it allows you to get that look. Now, when you do transform, you get a little bit of an Autobot logo right there. You get some extra red paint right here, and then black here in his arms. Obviously, his shins have this black, and then you can see that his thighs are gray. So you get a little bit more color thrown into him. But like I said, this is just not my favorite of these new deluxe figures. Now, for his articulation, it's exactly the same. You got a ball joint right here for the head, ball joint here for the shoulder, so nice range of motion there. You got a ratchet joint up here, very, very soft ratchet joint for his upper elbow, and then he's got a ball joint lower, which allows you to also rotate it outwards. Come down here, he does have waist rotation. The hips are the funny kind of split section, so you do have to make sure that they stay pushed up all the way, but you got a ball joint here, moves in and out, rotates at the upper part of the thigh, and he bends here at the knee. You got a heel swivel as well, so you have to make sure, like I said, that this section stays pushed up all the way, otherwise his hips look weird. Now, again, he can be either an arm or a leg in either Ultra Prime or Optimus Maximus, so it's really personal preference, and since he's not really supposed to be a combiner, you can kind of put him wherever you want. I have my own personal favorite, but in terms of the combined mode, I'm not going to show that off here in this video. I'm going to save that for the Ultra Prime video when I do that. I mean, the transformation is exactly the same. It's just a matter of which configuration you want to put him in and how you think he looks best when he's attached to Optimus. Overall, I mean, I like him. I think he's a decent representation. And then again, like I said, he does come with his little sword thing here that you just peg in there, and you got that kind of look. But while he's a decent representation, I just think that there are better ones out there, and I definitely think that that classic one is the far superior looking of the Sunstreaker kind of characters. This is just, I mean, to me, just a repaint with a new head. It doesn't give me that character feel, but I don't know, you might like him. And if you do, this new wave is slowly starting to trickle out to various retail locations. Or as always, there's Big Bad Toy Store. So if you don't want to wait, all you have to do is click on the link down in the video description. You'll go to BBTS where you can pick this guy up and add him to your collection today. But beyond that, guys, that's about it. So once again, I want to thank you for tuning in. This has been Optibotimus. And until next time, I'll talk to you later.